Hi everyone, welcome to the Timeless History channel with me, Derek, aka Sal, the Omega Enthusiast. I recently was at a friend's place chatting about watches and mutually showing each other's timepieces. Then, out of the blue, I asked Paul if he would mind if I film his collection to share with my audience on YouTube. He cheerily replied and said, Sure, go ahead and film how you like. He was so generous, however, it was such a last minute thing that I could only go through some of his collection. So without further ado, let's get started. Paul has a collection ranging from vintage to neo-vintage and some of the most remarkable modern-day timepieces. The first piece I want to share is this impressive The Citizen Caliber 0200. Before he showed me this piece, my first thought about a Citizen watch was that it was an average watch, or possibly an Echo Drive. But to my surprise, with his brief explanation about this watch, I was shocked to learn about its value and how well made it was. One can describe it as the Grand Seiko of Citizen. Sometimes you must see a watch in person to appreciate its beauty and meticulousness. When I picked this watch up to examine it, I could immediately feel the sturdiness and detail of the dial and case. The case has a diameter of 40 millimeters and a lug-to-lug measurement of 47 millimeters. This is truly a luxury sport watch in a barrel-shaped case. What is surprisingly intriguing is when Paul showed me a similar vintage version of this watch. I can instantly see the resemblance of the case and bracelet design. But a great watch is only complete with a high-quality movement, and this is precisely what I see on this watch through its see-through caseback. A high-accuracy 60-hour power reserve caliber 0200 automatic movement. However, nothing is more eye-catching than its detailed dial and set of hands. I remember the first time Paul and I met, we had coffee at a local Starbucks. And what was supposed to be a 30-minute conversation ended up being a 3 to 4 hour conversation. That's the danger when two watch enthusiasts converse about watches. Time flies. Paul grabbed out his modest collection of Chinese-made watches, and no, these are not Chinese fake watches, but quality and collectible vintage watches. Before I met Paul, I never knew that China manufactured their own watches back in the day. I thought all watches were produced in Europe and America. He showed me 3 Chinese brands, Shanghai, Beijing, and Seagull. But the piece that caught my eye was this first-generation military skin diver Shanghai watch. This is one stunning looking timepiece. Here are 2 pieces from Seagull. This white piece appears to have just come out of the factory yesterday. Paul has had these watches for the past 10 to 15 years, and he said that, unlike in the past, they are challenging to find nowadays. He even showed me a reference catalog he created for his records, something we should all do for the watches we love and appreciate. After getting to know Paul better, I learned he also cares about and supports the microbrand market. One of the microbrands he collects is the Ming watches. He owns 2 Ming watches, and the story behind the 2 pieces is captivating, especially how he obtained both. Part of this hobby's fun is hearing the story of how the owners acquires his watches. In case you have never heard about this brand, the Ming watch is designed and engineered in Malaysia and produced and assembled in Switzerland. When Ming released their first watch in 2017 under the reference 1701, it was affordable and everyone wanted one. What is remarkable was that Paul was the first customer to order the 1701, and he kept his receipt showing invoice number 1. That's freaking cool. Ming's watches are typically produced in limited quantities. While Paul only wanted to collect Ming's manual wine watch line, it was not until 2020 when the second generation of 1701 under reference 2701 was released. On the night of the release of reference 2701, Paul said there was a glitch on Ming's website and his order got cancelled. Paul was disappointed and promptly emailed Ming's watches only to receive the sad news that everything was sold out. However, a few days later, Ming messaged him with the surprising news that one of the client had decided to cancel his order and a 2701 was now available. Ming asked Paul if he was interested, and that is how Paul obtained both his Ming watches. His next mission is to purchase 3701 when Ming releases this reference. Let's all wish him all the best. His other microbrand pieces are a Serica S617 under reference 5303 and a Unimatic U2-H. Both are European automatic watches, with Serica being French and Unimatic being Italian. Serica, which I made a video on a while back, includes a few other microbrand names. I'll include a link in the description box below if you want to watch that episode. The watch industry is competitive, especially for modern watch manufacturers. They have to compete against each other, as well as with the vintage and microbrand markets. After you handle these microbrand pieces in person, you will see they are very well made. The Serica 5303 is a high-end timepiece, whereas the Unimatic U2-H is a much more affordable one. Depending on your taste and how deep your pocket is, I don't see how one can go wrong purchasing either of the two pieces. I find that some luxury brands cannot even produce and come up with a design as great as these watches. The details and the weight on the Serica immediately let you know it is not your average timepiece. It was an honor for Paul to show me these pieces in person. It really helped and gave me a better understanding of these watches. I learned through Paul's collection that you shouldn't judge a watch by its advertisement photo. A photo usually does not do justice to the actual product. The following two pieces are a 1980s Rolex two-tone Datejust with a white Roman numeral dial and a 1970s Omega TV-shaped constellation. Paul's father passed these down to him. I remember Paul was thrilled when I obtained a new crystal for that constellation. These two watches initiated him to grow his hobby of watch collecting. Paul is an architect who designs beautiful landscapes for residential and commercial properties across Ontario. He also enjoys collecting cameras and photographing beautiful things, including his watches. I will include a link to his Instagram account in the description box so you can enjoy some of his work and his photographs. There are more to Paul's collection, but we'll save those for a future episode. In the meantime, please email me if you are interested in sharing your watch collection and being part of the We Speak Time series. If you enjoyed this video and like Paul's unique collection, smash that thumbs up button. Consider subscribing to this channel as well. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next episode.